And this next fight, this is an interesting matchup right here because you have Nate Maness, who's a pretty big bantamweight in my opinion. I thought he was decently sized for the weight. He's deciding to make the drop down to 125 for this one. So if he can make that 125-pound limit, he's going to be a really big guy for flyweight, and we'll see how he could fare there. But 31 years old, he definitely needs to start getting the ball rolling now, and he doesn't have an easy task ahead of him with Tagir Ulanbekov as his first fight in the weight class. Tagir Ulanbekov, he is another one of these Russian fighters, but he actually comes from a part of Russia where they're more striking oriented, and he does like to strike, it seems like, more than grapple in a lot of his fights, but he definitely has the wrestling in his back pocket. And on the feet, he's very long and rangy. He has good footwork, movement. I think he's going to be the faster fighter and the better mover in this matchup. More of a counter striker. He'll feint, fake on the outside, get opponents to bite, and then counter with 1-2s or 3-2s. Fast twitch, good job of pressuring, forcing exchanges, and winning most of the exchanges. If he improves his jab and head movement, he could become a real issue for the division. When he gets his timing, he can really touch guys up, pull them into head-body combinations, be a dangerous entity. And he can be a little bit stagnant at times with his head movement. He can get hit with some overhands, some crosses. He doesn't check leg kicks. Most of the times, he has, an ability to control distance and defend the headshots by just keeping range. But he is a little bit hittable at times. Leg kicks were an issue for him against Bruno Silva. So Nate Maness, I think he should throw a lot of leg kicks in this one and really try to beat up those lead legs of Tagir Ulanbekov. And in his last fight, Ulanbekov had a really close fight with Tim Elliott where kind of got out-hustled in that one, so he needs to up the volume a little bit if you ask me. But Tagir Ulanbekov, he has a good grappling style. He isn't active with his wrestling too much, but he has good takedowns in the clinch and against the cage. Solid top control. Fighters stand up using the fence. He'll drag them back down and take the back from standing. In this fight, I think Russia should be a big part of the game plan. He has the cardio to go 3 or 5 rounds. He does have a couple submission wins. Mostly, he's just trying to grind it out. He isn't a big finisher. And his last fight, he actually went in there with Tim Elliott, and there was a lot of scrambles, a lot of really good grappling from both guys, and Tim Elliott edged the fight in a really controversial decision. So, Ulanbekov is going to go out there and try to differentiate himself and win in a lot cleaner fashion or get the finish in this one. But Nate Maness, tall, long, rangy fighter, southpaw, and he stands very tall as well, so he stands very upright, and that helps him be really fast. He has a real nice left body kick, left straight. He has some power even at 135, so at 125 he probably will be very powerful. He does leave his chin in the air a little bit, but he has a strong chin and he's willing to brawl with you, so he almost invites you to try to land so he can try to land his counters. And he's pretty strong in the clinch. He has good takedowns against the cage, so it's going to be interesting to see how Maness and Ulanbekov match up because Ulanbekov likes to get most of his takedowns against the fence. But if you do take Maness down, especially in space, he could struggle to get back up to his feet. He does have good submission defense and he could stay safe, but it's not really very pretty. He can lose rounds for sure. He got dominated against Johnny Munoz in the first round when he got taken down. His last fight with Umar Nurmagomedov, he got taken down essentially for the entire fight almost and was held down. And the thing about Nate Maness having fought Umar Nurmagomedov last is it does give Khabib's camp, that already one look at him, where Tagir trains with Khabib in them as well. So he's going to have, some pointers and some things already about Nate Maness's style that they already had game plan for. So I feel like Ulanbekov is going to be smart here and choose that same game plan that Umar did. Use your range striking to time the takedowns, get on top, and just blanket this guy. And with Nate Maness, I don't know if the 125-pound cut is going to be fruitful for him. I feel like he's a big guy, and that could potentially, wear him out a little bit or make him not as powerful. So I have to see him win at 125, see how he looks before I'm confident in picking him. And I think Ulanbekov is the rightful favorite here, and I think he'll get the job done by decision.